I've lived in dysfunction before. I've lived in a home where the stress was high. I've lived in a home where I had to walk on eggshells. I've lived in a home where I didn't know what my father was going to do from one moment to the next. I've lived in a house like that. And I was anxious from the moment I woke up to the moment I went to bed. I had to manage my dad's emotions primarily. When my dad wasn't home, my mum, and I have to really try hard not to cry. When my dad wasn't home, my mum would really try to make it fun for my sister and I. And I have such fond memories of that. But we knew as soon as we heard that car pull up, our mood would instantly change. We would stop doing what we were doing. We would sit on the couch and just wait for him to enter and brace ourselves, not knowing what mood he was going to be in. I've lived in a home like that. When I think about other children that are in the same position, that have to monitor their parents' emotions from one moment to the next, when I think about that, it breaks my heart. And I have to be honest with you guys that some days that this whole TikTok thing and this whole parenting thing, this whole childhood trauma thing gets to me. It really gets to me. And I think, fuck, I can't do it anymore. I can't bear to think about all the children that are suffering. I can't do this anymore. And then something just doesn't allow me to stop. Something doesn't allow me just to give up on these kids because I know that they need me. I know they need me. I know there are so many kids out there that need me. And this is why I do what I do. Because I need parents to understand this here is a result of my parents refusing to get help, refusing to regulate themselves. So I became the thermometer. I became a human thermometer. I became hypervigilant. I monitored my dad's emotions and tiptoed around him, not knowing when he was going to explode. I made sure that I did everything right. He wanted a clean house. My mum frantically cleaned and she made sure everything was clean. And I grew up in a house that felt like I was living in a fucking museum. We weren't allowed any type of mess. Everything had to be according to his liking. Everything revolved around him. Because of that, my sister and I grew up in a household that was cold. It was cold. On the most warmest days you could think of, our household was cold. There was no love. There was no affection. There was no positive attention. The only time that he paid us attention was to tell us how shit we were. The only time that he touched us was to hit us. The only time we had affection was never. And then sometimes when I think about the affection I received, it wasn't even for us. It was for him. He wanted a hug. He wanted to feel loved. And he used us as children to feel loved. He had us children for a purpose, to look after him when he got older. That's what he said. He told me to my face. The only reason I had kids was so I could be looked after. The only reason why I got married was somebody could cook and clean for me. So we were a means to an end for him. That's all we were. And he could not be bothered with us. He just wanted to have the kids for that reason, just to look good for everyone else. And my mental health issues throughout my entire life are 100% a result of his abuse, my mother's neglect. She, most of the time, would just stand there and watch him abuse us. And she would just watch and she would just cry. And I guess she was helpless herself, because what could she do really? She was getting abused too. And I remember there were so many nights that she would come to my bed
I would ask her, why are you in my room? Like, why have you come into my bed? Because I could feel the energy. And she said in Macedonian, that I'll translate in English, your dad's kicking me. So he would kick her under the covers. I would hear this kerfuffling, and then she would leave the bedroom and come and sleep with me. That broke my heart. That broke my heart. He treated her like garbage. And she has severe mental health issues now. Severe. She has dementia. If you look at my parents now, my mother looks like my dad's mother. My dad has maintained his youth because he's so self-centered. Everything is about getting his needs met by everyone around him, guys. I have met some disastrous people in my life, but my dad is one hurt human. His entire life has been around getting all of his needs met. He will do anything to get his needs met, and he did anything he could just to get his needs met, just bypassed his family and how we felt and how he treated us. When I think about giving up this work on this app because it takes a lot out of me, I think about that little girl. I think about my inner child. She always says to me, Vess, don't give up. Do it for me. So that's that.